Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abhinav Kanal, and I'm the co-founder of Bean Voyage. Today, like the name, right? That's a good start. So, today I would like to take you on a journey, a voyage, a journey that I started a few years ago. And my goal is that at the end of these 4 or 5 minutes, many of you will join me on this voyage. The voyage starts in 2014, when I was in Costa Rica with my best friend and co-founder Sun Hee. We were organizing a series of training programs in Costa Rican villages, and we had gone in as trainers. But at the end of our month there, we learned a lot more than we could have ever taught in these training programs. And one of the things that we learned during our program there was the art of coffee production. Now, has anyone here farmed coffee before? I know Scott has. Has anyone else farmed coffee before? No. So let me tell you about the process of farming coffee. And it's amazing. It is probably the most beautiful thing that I've ever noticed. I was in Costa Rica in December, which is the peak of the harvest season. So a lot of what I noticed during my trip was the picking, the organizing of the cherries, and the beautiful celebration that went around producing this thing we adore and admire as coffee. We drink every day. Now, you've heard the rest of my last part of the story before. Sad story, farmers don't get enough money. Many of you have heard the story, right? And that's why we buy fair trade coffee, right? That's why we expect that all the farmers are going to earn fair revenue for their work. Yet, let's look at an example. This is a fair trade brand that has 3 labels. It's fair trade, it's organic, and it's certified as specialty coffee. So we're happy, right? No burden. Farmers are getting paid well for what they're working. And so, how much do we pay for this? As much as $27 for a pound of this coffee. That's a premium price. And we're happy to pay this because we know that it's creating positive impact. When we were in this trip, we realized that that misconception, the alternative facts that we had always thought was true, was actually not true. So we looked at the entire supply chain, and we researched, and we spent a year of our last year at college identifying who were the key players in the supply chain. And this is what we found out. The $27 that we pay to a fair trade company ends up becoming only $2.2 per pound. This is a fair trade price. This is not the price that everyone else gets paid. One of the farmers was like Erica. And that's when we realized that this was a case of intersectionality. It wasn't just a case of the fact that there were disparity, but it was also about gender. Erica is one of the 17.5 million coffee farmers, female coffee farmers around the world. And Erica, earns 39% less than her male counterparts in the farms. Plus, as a coffee leader, it is harder for her to negotiate fairer prices because of the societal difficulties. And that, the intersectionality between the disparity and gender inequality led us to the birth of Bean Voyage. Bean Voyage is a social enterprise that provides the tools and services to female coffee farmers so they can sell their coffee directly to consumers like yourselves. And this is how we do it. We do it through a 3-step process. The first step being training. So far, a lot of the farmers are only producing green beans or even just cherries. What we do is we provide them with the training and the skills so they can turn their green beans into roasted, packaged, and branded coffee. You can see some of them back there. This entire bag was produced by their family. Second, we market their products and provide them with an e-commerce platform, which we manage so that their products can reach a wider market. We also use this as a storytelling platform so we can raise awareness about the inequality within the coffee industry and the gender inequity. We're kind of like the Etsy of smallholder farmers around the world. Now, many of you are probably wondering this. So many coffee companies around the world, it's a very saturated market. What are these little guys doing out there? Well, let me tell you this. First of all, not only are we the only direct trade company that connects you consumers to your farmers, our coffee is freaking amazing. Go try some. And if you'd like to try it, please go ahead and try some. And so this is what we create our impact. By doing this model, by doing that extra work and allowing the farmers to do most of the processes themselves, their income goes up by 300%. That 2.2 figure now goes up by 300%. And that means their ability to spend on the education, the healthcare, and the nutritional needs of their family and their communities goes up by threefold. But we're going big, and we're not going to stop. Our plan is to work with 1,000 female coffee farmers in 15 countries around the world over the next 5 years. And I would imagine this is a pretty difficult feat for most, but we have a bomb team, perhaps the only team that can achieve this feat. Not only do we all 5 come from 5 different countries with a lot of diverse experiences, we have specific sets of skills. Skills in leadership, skills in project management, skills in building lasting relationships with our farmers, skills in marketing and telling the stories, and skills in managing an e-commerce platform. We did a pilot in September 2016, and within just a few weeks of launching our website, we received quite a lot of one-time paying customers, many of whom were willing to subscribe to our model. We're also featured in a few media websites, such as The Independent, The Daily Mail, and Vanity Fair. We were also one of the 50 ideas represented by the UN in the Youth Solutions Report as the game-changing ideas that's going to lead to Sustainable Development Goals. I'm guessing many of you watched Harry Potter. I had the privilege and the opportunity to represent the work that we do at Bean Voyage in front of 1,000 people at the One Young World Conference in Ottawa last year, alongside UN Goodwill Ambassador Emma Watson, where I not just talked about our work with coffee, but the ways in which we can bring this intersectionality to customers around the world. So, many of you are wondering, how can we work together? This is a pretty exciting time. If we could bring one of our farmers today and ask them to speak with you, this is probably what they would say. If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let's work together. So I invite you to work together with our farmers, and there are 3 ways we can do that right away. First of all, subscribe. You can buy our coffee right away. You can go to www.beanvoyage.com and you can subscribe to our to a monthly plan where you can get coffee delivered to your doorstep every month or every 2 weeks. Join us. We're looking to raise startup capital so we don't have to depend on larger corporations or be bought out by other industry competitors. We want to work independently, hopefully as a non-governmental organization. And so we're trying to raise some startup capital. So if you'd like to donate or partner with us, please do consider becoming a strategic partner. And finally, we're looking to disrupt the food and beverage industry. That means we need mentors within the food and beverage industry. So if you are one or know of someone in the food and beverage industry, please do help us connect. Thank you very much for your time. Are you ready for Bean Voyage?